Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Your Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, climate negotiators, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to this 20th session of the Cartagena Dialogue, as well as to express my appreciation to you and by extension your countries, your government, for affording the time and commitment to this process. To those less aware, the outstanding achievement of the Paris Agreement is by no means the culmination of climate change action. Although many nations have made significant commitments towards stemming the advance of climate change, the work is not over. In fact, there is still much to be done. The Cartagena Dialogue is one mechanism through which countries look beyond their self-identified commitments toward establishing an ambitious, new, and binding agreement on climate change. While here in Antigua, I invite you to become inspired by nature's beauty. Imagine a world where white sandy beaches and coral reefs like the ones just off these shores become a reality. Where glaciers and snow-covered mountain tops might be limited to postcard memories. Where droughts, storms, famines, and epidemics can become more intense and more common. Where the worst-case scenarios of climate change has been realized. And with this grave image of what is at stake for humanity in our minds, let us earnestly collaborate to ensure that such horrors never come to pass. The establishing of an ambitious and new regime on climate change will require the coming together of many and various minds on an impressive list of complex issues, from the promotion and access of appropriate technologies that will help nations pursue economic development while mitigating greenhouse gas production, to ensuring that other strategies, such as public awareness, education, finance, sector-specific targets, and nation limits all deserve our keenest consideration towards achieving our goals. Here in Antigua and Barbuda, the government is in the process of developing regulations to further guide the implementation of the Paris Agreement. However, this will only be one in a series of vital steps needed to put Antigua and Barbuda on a progressive path to deal with climate change. We are aggressively pursuing accreditation to the various mechanisms and hope that our experiences both in the accreditation process and the implementation will serve as examples and best practices for other SIDS and developing countries to further their own actions against climate change. One area of approach that we have undertaken in Antigua and Barbuda that I believe would be beneficial amongst other SIDS and developing countries is for those of us with more advanced institutions to seek to be of assistance to other countries. Antigua and Barbuda is the first and currently only country in the Eastern Caribbean to have achieved accreditation to Adaptation Fund. We have decided, as a member of the Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States, to use this status not only for our own advancement, but also towards the advancement of the fellow members of the sub-region by accepting the responsibility to serve as a regional implementing entity, improving their access to the financial mechanisms. I would like to encourage other countries which have strong institutions to take up the challenges in not only seeing how to combat climate change locally and nationally, but where possible, taking regional and global approaches. I also invite you, the delegates, to propose further actions that will allow partners and countries to pursue actions beyond our virtual boundaries. As you deliberate, as you plan, as you collaborate, remember we are still in a world environment where there are doubters. We must not be daunted by developments that suggest that there should be a reversal of the momentum following the Paris experience. As nations who have a lot to lose, we must embrace the thoughts that we have it within ourselves. We have the capacity to ensure that the Paris Agreement serves all the future of all nations, and that the Paris Agreement become the cornerstone of advancing ourselves economically, socially, and otherwise. Today, I'm deeply honored. I'm delighted to share these moments with you. As a small nation, we have embarked on an aggressive path of playing our role. Antigua and Barbuda is the first island in the entire Caribbean to have successfully banned the import of plastic bags for use in our small nation. This is only a small part of our commitment. This is only a small demonstration of where we expect to be in the future. Today is historic for Antigua and Barbuda as we host this conference. But we'd like to believe at the end of the day that we can boast that we have changed the world by setting a course of no retreat. I invite you to have a successful conference, and by all means, enjoy the beautiful, ecological, unique experience of being in 108 square miles, 365 beaches, more than one for each of the days you're going to be here. Welcome to Antigua and Barbuda, and may God be with us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for those inspiring words and great words of encouragement and support to the group. This now ends our formal session, and we will ask the media to leave the room so that this group usually meets behind so-called closed doors so that the discussions can be open and, as my colleague Mr. Young says, progressively actually oriented. So thank you all for coming, and we look forward to sharing information. Thank you very much.